broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Where is it?
Y'all bear with us for a moment. We really wanted to do this.
It's been a while.
Yeah. We're going to let it play out
Like
for
a couple decades.
It's been 17 years since I've
This is old school. Even for me.
We love that too much. My necklace keeps hitting the table. It's kind of loud and obnoxious. I apologize ahead of time if that keeps doing anything. But hey, guys.
We even got the...
Oh, we even got the video going.
Fancy.
Love it. I miss Wings.
This is exciting.
Watch.
It was just on in my house, you know, like my parents would have it on, and it was just like, oh, Wings is on, okay.
And reruns. I saw the reruns.
Guys, I watched
You know what the weird thing is? There was a Lowell in Wings.
Oh.
Segment.
Coincidence.
It comes full circle.
Even if you didn't see it like me, don't feel bad.
Yeah, right. Me too.
That's all.
Everyone else is like, what are we watching right now?
But sorry, guys, this is not the after show for Wings, but it is for iZombie. Yeah, this is episode 10, Mr. Berserk, or MR Berserk, if you would like to go that way.
If you swing that way.
You know what I'm saying. But anyway.
Oh my God, it's already started.
Sorry, you guys, I told them beforehand, I was like, I'm going to be
1 minute, 57
loony
seconds.
tonight, and already I've, topped it out.
Don't we like her better this way anyways?
I do.
I do.
Everybody's going to be like, no. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to us on YouTube. You can check us out at AfterBuzzTV.com. You can also download us on iTunes, SoundCloud. Comment, rate, let us know how we're doing. You know we love to do the shout-outs, which we'll get to in just a moment. And if you guys would like, tweet at us using the hashtag ABTViZombie. We're going to try to stay live with you guys tonight and see what you guys are commenting on. We're going to do our best. Multitasking is not our strong suit, so we'll see how that goes for us. But anyways, you guys, my name is Hannah Prichard. You all can Instagram, tweet at me at @TheHotShotDude. Everybody else, tell them where they can find you.
And I'm Blake V. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Blake V Media.
I'm Jared Gilkerson. That's at Gilkerson Radio on Twitter.
And I'm Aja Seldon, and you can find me at Aja M. Seldon. That's AJA.
Killing it.
We all remembered our names.
We did.
That's
Even though,
it.
did you
That's
see
a
me
wrap.
still blink out? I don't know why I do that. I have the best
All right,
Instagram
take us to
name.
break.
Okay, Jared, hit us with some shout outs.
Always on Twitter, always a very active fan base. We
Yeah,
love our
guys.
fans. And we there's a lot of, feel free to hit any of us up, personally and ask us questions or whatever you'd like.
We're here for you.
We do this for you.
For you.
It's true. It's true. Always, Allie, that's at Tennessee and Hale. She's always going to have great insight to the show.
We heart you.
I know, it's great.
Team Z Captain.
And then David21. What is that? At D. I'm going to say D until he corrects me. D. Galka David. And then always Florina Radu. At Florina Nutsat Radu. She's always, I asked her about her favorite shows this week of all time, so feel free to, not just iZombie, let's just talk TV if you want.
Yeah, guys.
And then YouTube had some great foresight by Gingy Gina. She was saying that Major was going to question his sanity this week. Spot on.
Way
Get into
spot
that.
on.
Completely spot on.
Yeah, and Borgia Franco last week disappointed that there was no Peyton, and again this week no Peyton.
Jared's really
And Jared joins you in the disappointment.
She called.
I know. That's even worse.
She's alive.
Know that she was hung up on very rudely.
We found out tonight that Jared already has like little nicknames for Peyton. He kept being like, "Aw, Pate, Pate's calling."
Yeah, it's usually Pate or Pates.
Pate the Bay.
Yeah.
Pates.
Or you just go by,
Pates.
PC.
All right.
It's getting real cute in here. Real cute.
Right?
She's gonna be a guest on the show. We are going to get her on the
It's-
couch there.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So hopefully you hear that out there,
Yes.
and you're gonna come in for us.
So come in.
Yeah, we want you here. All right, guys,
Pepe.
let's get it going, and we're gonna start tonight with the case because the case was huge. Like, so much information was happening tonight. My mind is kind of blown.
Tonight was a doozy.
Yes, I have
A lot
2
was going
pages
on.
of notes just on the case. Just on the case. But I mean, it turned into some other things with Max Rager, which we'll get to. But first, we're introduced to Rebecca Hinton, who was working with Major a few episodes back on helping him with the whole case with the kids disappearing and kind of helping him delve into the research on that end and kind of probe some people for some questions and get some information. And Rebecca Hinton is dead. Why is nobody telling Major this? Did anybody tell Major this at all during the entire episode?
I cannot deal with this any longer.
I don't think he will be able to mentally deal with that either, given what he's going through.
I think people need to give him some credit.
I agree.
Like, he's mentally fine.
Yes, he is.
Well,
Not
hold on.
according to other people, though.
Right, but I mean, like, he's not even been given a chance. Like, everyone has just dismissed him since the start. Like, oh no, Major cannot know. It is beyond the scope of his
Right?
capability.
But I mean, like, Ravi, who they barely knew, like, got in on all the information right away, and they trusted him with it, and he's been completely fine. Well, granted, Ravi had, like, his suspicions.
He already knew.
Yeah, he
Ravi,
kind
to
of
be
had his
fair.
suspicions. But still, that's like a total stranger. And then Major, who was her fiance, like the love of her life, and she's like, nope, can't do it. He's a loose cannon.
But
I find that so strange.
I think she was still coming from that I'm trying to protect you type of aspect, even given how far to the extent that he has gone.
Right.
I think that he should have knew a couple of episodes ago. But
Right.
I think she's still coming from that I want to protect you and shield you.
Which I completely agree. And we'll talk about that more when we talk about Major. But with this case specifically, he's the only one who had a relationship with Rebecca. It's like completely unfair to him that he has no idea that she's even dead. Like, that's just a common courtesy to tell somebody that somebody they knew passed away.
Well, they had like a thing for a day. You know,
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. He's got enough on his plate, you know, with the candy man.
Okay.
Candyman.
Whatever.
He's got too much on his plate, but he's healing nicely.
Yeah, he's healing great.
Quickly.
I love that they've kept up actually with this like slow healing process, because so many shows will give them all these like bruises and cuts, and then the next episode it's like, what? Wait,
They're beautiful again.
Perfect skin.
I can't see it. Makeup? I don't know. So I actually enjoy that they've let that fade out, and we've seen all the different stages of his bruising. But we get our first vision from Liv when she sees Clive sniff her brains, which was hilarious.
Which is weird. Who goes in someone's lunch like that?
It's like a violation.
He's hungry. He missed his lunch break.
You don't go all the way over and put your nose 4 inches from someone's bowl of shrimp.
If it smells good, yes, you do.
I might even go in asking for a bite. You know?
Exactly. My fingers would probably be in their food already.
Was anyone
no.
hoping? Was anyone else hoping that he would take?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, completely.
What would that mean, though?
Probably nothing.
Nothing.
He's not a zombie, so.
He would just be eating
He'd
brains.
just be eating brains,
So you'd be a can of
unbeknownst to him.
Blah.
Can of babs.
But anyways, so she gets
He'd be
this
like, this
vision.
shrimp has really interesting texture.
Yeah, right.
He
What
should've.
is this?
Someone's
Gummy.
got to eat it accidentally at some
Cajun
point.
style.
They will. They will. It'll probably
Hot
be
sauce.
Major. Let's be honest. But so when she sees this vision, she sees a man in a mask, obviously attacking Rebecca Hinton. Not attacking, but yes, going through her phone, snooping, trying to get memo
Yeah, using her
information.
fingerprints to access the phone,
Yes,
right?
into her phone.
future.
So we know then that she was working on some sort of article or case or something that, obviously,
Confidential.
Yeah, it's pretty confidential. And then we meet Jason Fry, or we learn about Jason Fry, who she was doing her story on, who is considered the library killer. Is that correct? Did I hear that correct? The library killer?
Yes, I believe you're right.
Because he's been accused of killing a student at his college, which we find out didn't happen. which we'll get to. But when they go, then they somehow, they're going through her notebook. I'm like, I don't know, guys. So much is going on.
Yeah,
Please,
A lot was going on in this episode.
Jump in there.
A little tough to follow.
But they get a hold of Rebecca's notebook and they see the notes about Ryan Fisher being a sketchy douchebag. Basically, I think that's literally what was written in the notebook.
Sketchy D-bag, yes.
Yes, who was Jason Fry's debate team partner?
Yeah, classmate.
Yeah, classmate on the debate team together. He was a real piece of work when they went and confronted him at his dorm room.
I love it. They had to just make him the typical college preppy kid. It was hilarious.
Dude, he did a great
Preppy
job.
kid with attitude.
Yeah.
Just like, please, you're wasting
Parents
my time.
rolling in dough.
And just brushing off his girlfriend is like, wait inside.
And I couldn't remember. He's from something else. I want to say it's Vampire Diaries. Guys, let me know. But I think he was on Vampire Diaries for a little bit.
Could be
Maybe.
right.
For a short amount of time. I think played a potential love interest, actually.
Well, then you should know this, Hannah.
I know, because I'm all about that love interest.
This is your subject. Your area of expertise.
On it.
Well, maybe that's why I remember. You know what I mean? Like, I don't watch
Most
that show that
likely.
much anymore, but
Most
maybe
likely.
that's why. But then we also meet the girlfriend who, Connie, right?
Connie Roy.
I just wanted to keep referring to her as girlfriend or girl with crazy hair.
That girl.
Big hair.
Big hair. It was very tall.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
from a
Wannabe.
different decade.
She was.
I think.
Or,
It immediately turned into an 80s college movie. It was like Revenge of the Nerds couple. I'm like, who are these people? Where are they from?
It did. She had the whole like cowlick in the front, teased up and everything. Like,
Right.
whew, a lot of hairspray went into that. I wonder if that was her idea or
Teasing,
makeup.
Teasing, yes.
I enjoyed it either way. But Liv stays outside of the dorm rooms until she comes back out to confront this woman because she gets another vision of this girl slamming her door and saying that she doesn't want to talk about it. Does everybody remember that? Okay,
Yeah.
great.
And she was-
We follow you.
We're on board.
and she was wasted while doing it.
She was wasted, which, God, I
It's
love.
hinted
Was giving
alcoholic
her her
brain.
life.
I thought that was
love that.
hilarious, how she just was calling her out.
Oh,
Keep it
God.
real. Keep it
Right?
real.
Like calling her out
You
on the
just a
walk of
piece of
shame.
meat. Sorry.
I loved seeing Liv like that. Kind of be reckless.
You can go out with me.
Yeah, right. She made me
She fit
really
right in.
jealous. Walking around with all those mini bottles in her purse, I'm like, you know what?
You live the life.
Hannah's like, way to be.
Liv.
Way to
I
be,
think
Liv.
that's a good idea. Those
It's
little.
really, it's like Hannah during all of our AfterBuzz viewing parties. It's like clank, clank, clank. and you're
She's like digging in her
Hannah's-
purse.
Tequila,
Hannah's
vodka,
here. And you hear it from the sidewalk. Yeah.
brandy.
Hannah's coming.
You know what? This is so inaccurate, but I want it to be accurate, so that may start to actually be the truth. But that's
another issue.
that's therapy sessions with Hannah Prichard. Stay tuned after.
Yeah, that'll
Major may be there.
Reality show.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, that'd probably be a good one. But Liv confronts the girl on the sidewalk. What exactly does she say to her? She just kind of calls her out on knowing that she may have already been approached by Rebecca.
Yeah, because she knows that they got into a fight outside of the place. So
Right.
she knows that
Okay.
they've approached each other. And also just kind of ribbing her about being that not really his girlfriend and just
Right.
Walk around
Yes.
with your panties in your purse.
yeah. True.
She's a thot.
Oh, yes.
She's a thot.
She's a thought.
I love that. Panties and alcohol bottles, good combination.
Right.
I like the way the girl parties, or parties together. Anyways, so then Connie comes to the station and tells Liv that she's ready to talk, and informs her that this Jason Fry never killed this guy, but that Ryan was getting jealous of how good Jason was getting in the debate team. So him and their teammates took him to a cabin. Is that correct?
To the woods.
Yeah, cabin in the woods. Got him hammered off of Jaeger. Is that
Jägermeister.
correct?
That's a lot of Jaeger.
I mean, that's easy to do.
I know, that's really not a lot of Jaeger, actually.
No.
Well, I mean,
It could be very little Jaeger that happens with.
Yeah.
I guess for a dude, how much does it take?
No, it was more just the non-desire. Like, it's just like a starter. It's a starter beverage.
It's a starter beverage?
No, it's not.
That's why I
Jaeger
am
gets
like...
you there.
You gotta like work up to that.
I think it's a good winter starter beverage. Like, it's cold outside. Have a nice little nip.
Warm up your body a little bit.
That's as if you're trying to go all the way type of beverage.
Yeah, right?
It's just it's too like sugary or
It's like
licoricey.
strong, licoricey, intense.
Tell us your Jaeger thoughts online.
Drinking 101.
You guys, we're just being really classy tonight, so I'm following
Never
along.
taking it
I need
there.
a bottle. It's been a while since a Jaeger.
All right.
There's probably a reason for that. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
There's probably a reason it's been a while.
Needs to be in the freezer, though. Let's get one.
Good.
Okay.
We
All right. That's for you.
Yeah. Steven, can you get on that?
Por favor.
Little Jaeger.
We're going to need some at the AfterBuzz
Pretty sure y'all
TV
don't
studio.
need Jaeger.
Steven's concerned for us as well tonight in the booth. He's like, God, should I cut them off? Should I stop the show? This is not going well. Getting back on topic. So they get him hammered off of Jaeger until he passes out, completely blacks out. Now that is a lot of Jaeger. So once he's passed out, they get this girl, Connie, to get all beaten up and bruised up by putting makeup on her, obviously, has her lie down in bed with him, right?
Yeah.
Making it look like he killed her. Crazy.
It's a pretty terrible prank.
It's
Like, why
absolutely
would you-
awful.
Great.
Why is that?
That's a
Who
good
would even
singer.
think of something like that? And did she just disappear off of campus after it happened, or how did that work?
That's what I was wondering.
I didn't understand that whole thing.
Did she secretly drive up there?
Did
or
anybody else believe this? Like, he was the only person that believed that.
And talk about some good acting for when he comes
weird.
to. She continues to pretend to be dead, wrapped up in a blanket, and thrown into the trunk of a car. Like, that's some acting skills right there, y'all. That's that's a duration of time to pretend to be dead.
She's
I mean,
committed.
I can't even for 5 seconds look like I'm not breathing.
But that
because she
also
wants him. She wants
showed me-
Fry.
Exactly, like she was loyal to a man who wasn't loyal to her.
Ugh,
'Cause my
disgusting.
man would be able to throw me in the trunk. But
Which one was he? Jason, wasn't he in some sort of like facility or jail or like
Yeah, well, because he
something?
was convicted of murder.
But it wasn't even
It was Ryan. Fisher.
Oh, okay.
Fisher's the crazy
Of
boy.
the girlfriend?
No, Jason was the crazy one.
Jason's the
Fisher
one
was
who thinks he's
girlfriend.
crazy
I'm an
and
idiot.
killed somebody,
Girlfriend.
and Ryan
That's
is the
my
one from the
fault.
debate team who, yes, is
Right.
crazy
Yeah.
because he set him up.
Okay, but the one in the facility was the one who thought that he killed the girl.
Yes, yes.
So why is he even in there?
Because he was
went
convicted
nuts.
of murder.
And he went crazy.
No, he wasn't.
Okay, so he checked. Okay, I'm wrong.
Babs thought the body was real.
God, I'm so confused.
He went crazy.
We need to
after
sort
it.
this out right now.
He went crazy.
He
after
snapped
it.
off of Max
Exactly.
Rager. Was he the one on
No.
Max Rager?
He
No.
snapped basically off of because he thought he couldn't deal with the fact that he thought that he killed this girl. Basically, that's what I got from it.
So he was in like a
kinda went
psych
crazy.
ward is where he was?
Basically,
Got
yes.
it.
And they
Okay,
never
got it.
And they never like found the body to convict him of murder.
Exactly.
Okay,
or there was
perfect.
no like actual murder. He was just rumored to
Yeah,
be this
because
person
I was
who killed
like,
somebody.
if there's no body and no proof or anything, why would he be in jail? What is happening?
Yeah,
Girl,
to answer Asia's
clearly I
question
struggled too.
She said because it was only a small period of time. It was like days where he went nuts. So it wasn't like she had to hold up her end of the bargain and be off campus. And I think it was just within a couple of days he'd gone nuts and I guess
Checked
gone
himself
to
in
the
immediately.
Funny farm.
Like that is crazy. Where did she go?
Everybody was going to funny farms in this episode. That's what this episode should have been called, the funny farm.
Yeah, they should have had a major run into this kid. Like, what are you gonna do?
Two crazy people do not need to be together. That
Oh
is just
my
how you
God.
know.
It was a lot of people going crazy in this one.
And how much time? It was a year, right? It was a year anniversary of when he thought that he killed her. This
Oh,
girl
That's why she was telling
stayed
the story.
silent for that long, knowing that a man was like wasting away his life in a psychiatric ward.
She wanted some of that Fisher.
Crazy things you do for love.
Absolutely
Yeah, so
gross.
yeah, that's
Gross.
Anything for lambda, lambda, lambda.
truly anything.
Yeah.
But
Bizarre.
when they go to visit Jason to let him know that he did not kill Connie, this woman, they see that picture of him at a frat party in costumes with a guy in a Max Rager outfit next to him, and it's like da da da. Max Rager linked to this again constantly. They're linked to all these different cases, and we've thought this entire time that it had to do with the zombies. Are we now confirmed that it doesn't have to do with the zombies at all?
No.
It's a completely different issue. It's a bigger case.
I think there's some links still.
Yeah,
I think
because
it's
there's
linked
still
together,
the factor of the utopium getting added to that. These ones may have been Max Rager on their own, but then when combined with utopium,
So somebody in Max Rager is linked to the whole zombie world.
Which we all
Yes.
know who that is.
Yeah. Wings, baby.
He's so good, and that brings us into meeting Vaughn. He's such a great actor.
Is Vaughn his first or last name? Do we know?
It just said Vaughn.
They just kept referring to him as
That's
Vaughn.
such a cool. I hope he's
just one name.
I hope it's just Vaughn.
Only
all the
needs the
time.
one.
He
Vaughn.
does such a great job. Like
Yeah.
he morphs. So I like it. He's great. Anyways,
He's still relatively young.
He just looks young all the time. I don't feel like he stopped aging.
He's got
Yeah,
a
he's
90s
aging
haircut
very well.
too. It's good.
Yeah.
Keeping it going.
Yeah.
It was like
Keeping it going.
longer, flowing back. He looked great. Okay, I'll stop.
Steven, you look
Please.
Yeah, you look
Looking
good, man.
Thank you.
good. Oh,
You
not
too, Steven. You too.
Both have great hair though, so that's not a mistake at all.
Okay, where am I with Max Rager? Okay, so the beginning of them going into Max Rager before she goes to Vaughn, which I guess we should talk about first, or before she meets Vaughn, is the whole Jackson and Richmond thing.
Connection.
Yes. So guys, you're gonna have to fill me in on this because I was confused even when they started going into it. I kept having to stop the show and be like, "Wait, what? Huh? I don't understand."
Well, Aja can explain it again.
So yeah,
She's the one
they
that
thought
got
it was
Aja, explain
cities,
it.
names of locations.
Right. So, well, no. Richmond and Jackson, they thought were actual people linked to the company, the MR thing. So then what further happened was Clive did his research and noticed that it was the abbreviation for Jackson, and then what was the other city?
Richmond.
And Richmond. And then he found 2 separate cases of people being volatile in those cities and linked it to the whole Max Ranger type thing. So Richmond, they had their own case with one of the workers at a restaurant threw hot oil on one of the customers. And then in the Jackson city, another customer went berserk as well.
That was a semi-truck driver.
Okay,
This
but
truck driver who just
Yeah.
plowed through.
I guess what
with
I
the
don't
people.
understand is when were Mr. Jackson and Mr. Richmond brought up in the first place
It was in her
as
notebook.
Yeah, notebook.
It was in her notebook as 2 of the people, suspects, as to who she should be looking for or questioning. So it was written down in Rebecca's notebook. So that's how
MR
the
Jackson.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so somehow
Richmond.
then this case, aside from just that picture being in the psychiatric ward, like this entire case with Rebecca Hinton
She's been
and
on for a
She
everything,
knew
while.
more, exactly.
Goes-
She knew more.
and Jason Fry and this crazy Ryan kid somehow all links back to Max Rager. Like
Yeah.
it's just so it's like a case within a case.
And because Ryan was like, he admitted that he was, or was it Jace? Oh, shoot.
It's like
Who's the kid that
iZombie
was in the-
Inception.
God, it is.
Yeah, it was
brain's
Jason
melting.
who admitted that he was an addict. Because remember, the guy went to the party as him, so he was like, "Oh, you're an addict, so because you love Max Rager, so I'll wear a bunch of Max Rager swag." So yeah, the whole thing's linked.
Okay, so they could say that like this Ryan guy, maybe Ryan was drinking the Max Rager as well.
No, was Ryan?
That-
No,
Because then
No,
they could
he
say that
wasn't.
Ryan snapped.
Ryan was not at all.
Okay, so then who in that case snapped off of the Max Rager? Like, where is
Jason
that?
is the
He's in
only
a
one
psych
we-
ward.
Jason is the only one we know that snapped after, but now that snapped.
But it
throughout
wasn't
the
even
case.
because of the Max
Exactly.
Rager.
Could've
But
been-
now that I'm thinking, it probably could have been because
Okay,
of
that's
Max
what I thought at the
Ranger,
beginning.
And that was just a
Yeah.
cover up for that. But they tried to make it seem like he went crazy over the murder, potential
Okay.
murder.
I think it was both.
And-
Like he just, it took him. The Rager put him over the edge. So he was a little crazy because he thought he killed her, but then this energy drink put him over the edge.
Because I would be crazy already if I thought I killed somebody as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
And then with the Max Ranger, like he said, mixed into it, he just was the monster.
Berserk.
Berserk.
Berserk. That's exactly what
You
it
guys,
was.
this seriously hurts my brain so much.
Was that an Eminem callback?
It's almost like to the point where I'm like, I don't even want to talk about it. It hurts so
All right,
bad.
enough of Max Rager.
It's just the beginning of the Max Rager. What are you talking about? We can't back
'Cause
away
we're gonna
from
see
it.
this in the upcoming
It is
episode.
what it is, Jared.
Oh my god, it's so frustrating. But then we also learn, along with this whole Richmond and Jackson, that it was linked back to the boat. Okay, so then that does link up with the whole zombie
LW.
thing.
Yeah.
Lake Washington.
Yeah, so that finally sheds some light on what happened that day on the boat. Are they saying then that somebody on that boat was drinking Max Rager and went crazy and started this whole fire
Yes.
outbreak?
The Utopia with
Yes.
the Max Ranger. Remember, Blaine was on that boat too.
Right.
It looks like you two are about
And
to hold hands. I'm like,
Emotional.
sorry.
You know, you just can't
So
handle it.
I know
Jared
it's
and
getting
Blake's hands
intense.
are starting to linger towards each
Sorry.
other in the middle of the table.
Sorry.
I think we're like deep in thought. We're like, yes,
We have a
yes.
new love connection.
Well, yeah, well, and Liv actually said that she referenced this whole thing, and she said that that was what caused everyone to get crazy. She's like, I saw it, I was there. Those people were ripping each other to shreds because of the Max Rager. Everyone was
because they
on
were
it,
zombies.
snapping. Right.
Well, some of them.
Yeah,
Some of them.
because
Yeah.
a lot of them got turned into zombies.
Ever. It's so intense.
Some of them were almost zombies.
I just am ready for it to be next week so we can get some answers and my head doesn't have to hurt as
And
much.
just for clarification, the Max Ranger is an energy drink, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So that to me is just like, you chase your stuff with Red Bull or something like. Don't try that at home, but
Jaeger.
set you over the edge too. That is
Max
not a
Ranger
chase.
bomb.
Which we're going to get.
That's a good one.
Which we're actually going to get to that because we see it served at a bar later. But we're going to get to that. Anyway, so
Ranger
They didn't try to show the label like that.
yeah.
Max Jaeger.
Max Jaeger.
Focus.
Okay,
Max
focus.
Jaeger.
Bring it in.
Everybody, streamline.
Okay. Back on track.
Thanks,
So
Mom.
Vaughn, thank you. They show up at Max Ranger. This is the first visit to the company, which I thought was pretty cool little place. And we meet Adele, the crazy poor secretary who is like brainwashed and he needs to be like talked off a ledge when she brings Liv in to meet Vaughn. And she just walked through me. I should have just taken the hit. Like what? Nutbag.
I thought that was a great line.
I like her. She had a couple good lines in this episode.
I wish you guys could see my notes, but I tried to draw the little, like, laughing so hard crying emoji face at this woman, Adele. But I thought it was absolutely hysterical. And then meeting Vaughn and him talking about how, like, alcohol could have influenced anything, or could there have been a full moon that night that made everybody go crazy. I thought it was really funny.
Because that's a valid reason
Absolutely.
for things to happen. Sure.
Everybody turns into werewolves.
Sure.
And, which I'll get to later. I'll go down another rabbit hole, so let's not do it. But then Liv goes back to the morgue to report all of her experiences at Max Ranger, where Vaughn basically dismisses her. They find out that she's not a police officer. She shouldn't be there asking questions. They send her home. She goes back to the morgue with Babs and Robbie, hammered, does a little dance. They send her home. She goes to a bar. Meet Sebastian Meyer.
Sebastian.
Who was creepy right from the beginning.
Totally.
And we should,
This was her second time at the bar, right? Because this is the second night.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, she was at the bar a lot.
Yeah.
And we should have known something was up with him the minute that he buys her a drink mixed with Max Ranger.
And she didn't
Did
get
you
it.
get- yeah, did
she notices. She's like, "Oh, don't. Why are you?" And then
She didn't touch it
still
either.
didn't.
Yeah,
She didn't touch it either.
But she
Trust
didn't
him, though,
comment
but she
on it.
trusted him.
Yeah, like I feel like if she's working on a case that deals with Max Ranger, she's being confronted by a man who worked with Max Ranger, telling her it's bad, and yet he just bought her a drink, serving her up Max Ranger. Why would you not be like, bro, if you have such an issue with it, why did you just buy me a drink with it in it? With it, yeah. With it.
I was distracted by his burger.
I don't think when he bought
I was
his drink,
distracted
though,
by
she
the
was
burger,
thinking
too.
about the whole Max Ranger thing.
Wait, what?
When he bought her the drink, I don't think she probably put two and two together about the whole Max Ranger thing.
She
I don't
didn't,
think that
'cause
kind of the light bulb kind of.
He was distracting her with the burger.
Exactly.
But she made a
by
comment.
talking
Putting
to
the
her.
ketchup on it.
Okay, well,
But she still never touched her drink either, too.
That's true.
she was
Did anyone
not
else
being
notice though?
reported.
Yeah, I was waiting to see what the topping
On the burger?
condiment would be on the burger.
well, me too. I was
I was like,
It was
is gonna
ketchup,
be-
right?
Yeah, it's ketchup.
Is it gonna be
But
hot sauce?
I thought maybe. Well, that yeah.
He-
Or I was just thinking basics. Like, is
Right.
it mayo? I don't know. I just got caught up.
He
in the
was
food.
holding the bun and he was going to spread it, but he did it on the patty too. Did we see that technique?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Does anyone else
What
do
does
that?
that say about somebody? I don't know.
Did he
Maybe
ever bite it,
zombies do.
Maybe he's covering up zombieism. Well, we all know later on he
Right.
wasn't.
I love that we were
Maybe
all
some people
so
do with
caught
ketchup.
up.
But
Ketchup.
He never bit the burger either, though, right?
Huh?
Did he ever? He never bit the burger, though.
We don't know. Now we're talking about hamburger.
You guys, we're all over
Right.
the place tonight.
No,
Okay.
because he never bit the burger, though.
You guys, while we get our stuff together here for a moment, we actually have a really cool video from the actor Sebastian Meyer, Matthew McCall. He wanted to come in, but he couldn't be here. I believe he was in Canada, if I'm correct. Yes. Steven has a video, though, from him calling into us, letting us know what's going on, his
Exciting.
thoughts, and everything, and saying hey. So we're going to watch that real quick.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning into AfterBuzz Television. My name is Matthew McCall. You can find me at Matthew McCall on Twitter or Instagram. We're here today to talk about iZombie and what's been going on in the series up until now. My character Sebastian has just been introduced tonight. Looked like he was going to be a really good and helpful guy up until sort of the end of the show, where it turns out he's not the greatest guy in the world. Would really love to hear what you guys think about all this though. Shooting the show was awesome. I think my character, because he's introduced as a really nice guy who wants to help Liv, and then has this really interesting turn where you find out that he's not really there to help Liv, It was so much fun to play. It was great to work with Rose McIver and the rest of the cast on iZombie. They're really nice people in real life, and I think for me as an actor, that makes all the difference when you're working on a show like that. So excited to hear what you guys think about iZombie up until this point, and I probably will be watching this show along with you guys. So sorry I couldn't be part of the live podcast. I'm in Toronto right now, and it's probably about 5 a.m. So I'm hopefully sleeping, but we'll watch the show at some point, and we'll definitely try to answer any questions you guys have if you tweet me at Matthew McCall. Would love to hear it. So guys, have a great show. Thanks so much again for tuning in, and take care.
Nice.
How cool is that, you guys?
That was sweet.
Matthew,
Thank you, Matthew.
Yeah, if you're
always
watching,
look out
man,
for us,
Wonderful.
though.
Yeah.
and it's 5 a.m. and you're up, if you are, gosh, thanks, man. That's really, really cool. That's cool for us. And whenever you're back, we would absolutely love to have you on, because clearly we find out you're definitely gonna be coming back, which we're gonna get to. Crazy things happen for you. But when we're introduced to Sebastian and he sits down and talks with her, he calls Liv's attention to Elizabeth Marquette, who we had met weeks ago. Everybody brush me back up on the case. All I remember is the lasagna thing at the end.
Well, she was a part of all the skydivers, Max Rager.
Yeah, she worked
Everybody.
for
Yeah.
Max
and
Rager.
And what had they thought that she'd done at that point? She had, who had she like killed or facilitated a death of?
Well, the girl that was in the tree.
Remember she
girl
was
that was in
covering
the
up
tree.
for everybody?
Yeah.
That whole
Oh,
she was the
yes,
one that
yes.
was sleeping with around.
With everybody.
And
She was in like a
perfectly
billion
good meal
triangles
behind.
of sex. Sorry.
It's all about food tonight.
Yeah, we're all about food. We're all about alcohol. We're all about everything.
Clearly, we're all starving.
Yeah, and that's
Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.
Anyways, but so at this point, Sebastian has made us think he's on Liv's team. Sneaky, you little. But anyways, so Liv then goes to the yoga center to meet back up with Adele. And kind of confront her about everything and see if she can get some answers from her or get her to confess what she knows about Max Rager based off of Sebastian letting her know that the secretary is kind of...
The whistleblower.
Yeah, I love that term. I haven't heard that in a while. Did they even say that in the show?
they did.
They did?
Maybe that's what I
You're too busy writing emojis down.
Doodling emojis.
My brain's working really well tonight, you guys.
Actually, her notes are just like 98% emojis. Like, that's how she communicates.
There's a lot of circles.
She writes like
There's a
she
lot of
texts.
arrows and diagram-looking things tonight. I have like 3 pages of notes. It's absolutely silly, and that's why it takes me forever to go through them, because I can't decipher them after when we do this. But she goes to yoga to meet back up with Adele, assuming, somehow knowing that she's there. Corners her in the locker room to see if she can get her to confess, promises that she'll protect her, and little Miss Adele sneaks out the window. Thinking that she's saving herself.
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious, Adele.
Right.
You walked right into a trap.
Poor Adele.
Adele was just a mess the entire time.
She's a trim
I'm like,
lady.
how did she fit through the window? It was small, but I mean, I guess
she
people got
was
their
slim.
ways.
And why is nobody in that locker room like, anybody see this crazy lady going out the window of the yoga studio?
Or the fact that there's a ton of people in there, and then Liv goes around the corner, and just because the window's cracked this much, she's like, "Oh, she slipped
Yeah,
out of there!"
right?
Like,
Yeah.
oh, someone could have just opened it.
it could just be hot in there.
Yeah, it's true.
But her bag was sitting there too. I think that's what was kind of like.
Okay, we're getting to the end of this case though, and we have to do it so that we're like going on so many tangents. It's
Yeah, let's do it.
ridiculous. But then we go to the garage. Dun dun dun. Everybody knows something bad is gonna happen in the garage.
in a dark parking garage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Come on now.
So
all those
cliche.
echoes, all that creepiness, and there we find Sebastian, and we see his true colors with his brass knuckles. Knocks her out. Come on, girl. Get some zombie power. Turn around and kick his. But I'm trying to refrain from cussing.
So she can get knocked out, we've learned. Like, if you can hit her hard enough.
Right. Well, she didn't see it coming. I think it was the whole element of surprise. I don't think she
was knocked out long enough to be
expected-
put on a boat and driven out into the middle of the ocean.
I mean, come on, y'all, with brass knuckles too. It wasn't
Yeah.
just like an
That's
ordinary.
true.
And he hit her so fast that she
I'm
probably didn't even
catch it
like have
slipping.
time to turn zombie.
I guess I was just thinking she was in like a pretty much all-out Bruce Lee kung fu fight. And I was thinking she probably got hit pretty hard then, but it wasn't with brass knucks. So
Okay, whatever.
And
She's
didn't
all right.
she have the she'd eaten kung fu brains to fight back on that one. Is that what you're talking about?
That maybe makes
she had a little more help on her.
I guess you're right. Now she was a drunk, so she's a drunk getting punched in the
balance.
You see,
You know?
the scenario's far different.
Okay, but I want to talk about when she wakes up on the boat and Sebastian. Man, you were so perfectly creepy in this part.
Creepy.
Laying down next to her like that, and almost like a romantic way, the way that they shot it too, making it look romantic, and he's like wiping the blood off of her and eats it. Bad choice, man. Bad choice. We all knew what was going to happen for you then. But I mean, I thought that maybe you got, or sorry, like you're here with us.
I'm talking to you directly.
In spirit.
I mean, I thought at that point when she runs over him and we see all the blood that she maybe chopped him up enough to where that there was no coming back for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a lot of blood.
I know. That's what I thought too. I thought he was all done.
I did too.
Propeller style.
He'll be this character just like we saw.
Scarface.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but which will look so cool. Oh, or wait, they heal really fast, don't they? Dang it.
Maybe he'll stay like that. Maybe the damage is too much.
Hopefully.
Got it. But
I'd support it.
I thought he was dead.
They can make up rules. You can make up whatever.
I have no idea. But anyways, so we see him crawl out of the water later and in all zombie mode. So congratulations, man. We're going to see you back again. I'm really stoked to see what happens with that. And maybe we'll have some predictions here at the end about what everybody thinks is going to come up for you. But let's go ahead and talk about Major. Poor man.
Right.
Poor Major.
I was so against him at first. I almost feel so bad. Like, I hated him. I hated him. I thought he was just a wimp. Like,
I did too. It's exactly
not anymore. He earned his stripes.
Well, yeah, and like regardless of how he was at the beginning and all of that, I cannot take all this crazy talk. Like, I feel like it's so uncalled for, and Babs is just like on a mission to be like, you're crazy. And the whole episode, like, to the point where he had to check himself into the psych ward, I was just like, oh my god, they need to give him a chance. This
it's going to be for the better, though, because he's meeting the guy who knows information, so
absolutely
Liv's never going to tell him, and Robbie's not going to go behind Liv's back, so this guy is going to give him all the clues.
Well, thank God.
Yeah.
And then once he finds that out, he better be furious at Liv and Robbie and Babs for doing him that way.
Happen too.
Well, you know he's going to figure out once he really learns more about the zombies that Liv is a zombie.
Because something already registered in his brain when he was told that. He was kind of like...
Like, could you imagine if the people closest to you lied to you so bad that they pushed you into a psych ward and then you found out that all they had to do was tell you from the start?
Happens every day.
Wouldn't it make you go back into the psych ward? Because
But Liv had a good point, too, though, when she said, when Robbie asked...
Jared, you need to pick a better circle.
No, when Robbie had asked her, you know, we have to tell Major what's going on, and she was kind of like, do you think it's better for us to tell him now, or for us to, like, he'll be safe in the psych ward versus him going out and finding out that the kids have been killed by Candyman, and then what is he going to do? What's going to be his reaction? So,
right. But I just think that's because he hasn't known what's been going on this whole time. I feel like had he been brought in sooner than this, he would be able to rationalize it in a different way. I don't think he's a crazy person. I feel like he's just not been given a chance to understand the information fully.
Instinct.
Yeah, so it's like if he does think that everyone's been killed by this mysterious person who no one wants to find, sure, I think that's reasonable to think he would want to find it out.
Yeah.
And now he's been pushed to the brink of just thinking he's crazy because not a single person will help him or tell him otherwise.
Which is,
preach, girl. She's got a lot of feelings on it.
I completely agree. But they should have told him a long time ago. But now it's kind of like everything has gotten to a head. It's probably too late for them to tell him because it's too deep now. Lowell's dead. They have this Max Ranger thing going on. It's probably like this will be too much to kind of bring him in the loop of. He's still going to go out and do his own thing. But I just feel like right now would be the worst time for them to tell her, even though they should have told him a while ago.
Right.
But right now it's kind of like this is not the right day.
Yeah, Scotty is going to spill the beans.
And I'm already a fan of Scotty. I'm stoked for
Scotty is spilling the beans.
He seems awesome.
He's going to know soon.
I think he's going to be a really cool character and bring a lot of really cool energy to the show. So I'm stoked to have his little sketchy self on that show. He seems like kind of twitchy, and I really dig it.
Everyone's going to pay the rent on the show.
Oh, that's a good question.
Think about that all the time. Like, they got a nice place, Robbie. I would be worried if I was Robbie. Like, he's been had no job for weeks. He's nuts.
Unemployment.
He can't get unemployment because he got fired.
Oh, yeah.
Booyah. Guy knows too much about unemployment right here. But I just get worried because I'm
That
like,
is
Robbie's
an
going to have
interesting
no roommate.
life logistic. We
But you
need that
know what?
addressed.
They might have.
Yeah. And then Lowell, that huge place, he's a struggling musician.
But he might be able to
I
get
know
one
it.
because for a medical circumstance, you know?
Maybe.
That might
Okay, but what did you all think about the moment when Major's tucking Liv into bed when she's hammered? That was kind of a cute
It
moment.
was cute. It was cute.
Did it make anybody kind of wish
that they could be.
that they could
That
be?
they could be.
I thought it was like a dream sequence the whole time, to be honest.
Do you still think that?
No.
Okay.
No, but when it first
When it was
happened,
happening.
when she was really drunk at the bar, like, oh, I'll just call somebody, and then he shows up kind of
Yeah.
there, I thought, oh, she's just kind of wishing this is how it was.
Oh, that would
But
be
no,
cool. I could totally see that.
But it's for real.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
great.
And it was cute. Like,
yes.
climb into bed and rub my back. Like, it
made me mad.
Kind of cute.
Why?
Because, like, oh, can you just rub my back like you used to?
Oh, she's teasing
Meanwhile, I'm not telling you anything about
Yeah.
what's sending you into the psych ward
I
and doing
agree.
all this stuff to
She
you.
made me angry this whole
Like, what a
this
B.
entire episode.
That was a
Make
B
me-
move, Liv.
I think that was just
Okay, I
her
can
trying to
maybe see that.
make that connection. I would have probably asked the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm drunk.
But
my
while
ex
you're
is
doing
here,
him, like,
my
wrong
ex-fiance,
like that.
But
Yeah.
with her thinking, with how she's thinking, she's
Keeping him
protecting
safe,
him.
right.
We all know the drama or the trouble she's
Right.
caused, but I don't think that she's thinking like that. I think it's like, you know, babe, just come rub my back one last time.
Whatever. I think it's fine. I think they've like kind of mended all of their, relationship woes and can have that relationship with each
Right.
other and still support and comfort each other and be there for each other. And, I mean, they dated. They were engaged. I mean, they're not never going to touch. So I was fine with it. I want it. You're like, what does that mean? I liked it. I was fine with it. I kind of made me like Major even more and be okay with the fact that maybe they do end up mending things later in the long run after he comes back out of the psychiatric ward, a tough little cookie and ready to cook some zombie.
Comes out of the psych ward with his zombie knowledge.
Yeah.
Powered up for real.
Well, and especially now that there's a spot open in Liv's love life because our poor man Lowell is gone, it's possible.
You still think he can't like rise up?
No, he's not coming
They're
back.
really taking their sweet time,
I think he's dead. I
and
think
like he could just be.
he's a goner.
I don't know. Not that I
He's
really
a
want him
goner.
to be.
He got shot in the head.
He's a goner.
Still haven't seen the body. We've only seen the
True.
side of it.
And
That's him.
we didn't see the actual shot. It was really implied.
So who is she crying over?
Yeah,
Yeah, right?
Who is she crying over?
No, if he really got shot in the head, like that's the only way zombies can die. Then why is she pulling out the body and looking at? He'd be unrecognizable. It'd be nothing up here. He got shot in the head.
But we didn't see him up there.
Okay, but here's another question.
was it like a laser thing though?
Would he not heal?
That was a sniper.
Like, because the zombies, like, their wounds have been healing. Would he not heal because he's
Not
dead?
if it was the
Or-
brain. The brain's like the final.
He wouldn't, no matter what. It
Yeah.
wouldn't, like, it wouldn't even appear like it was healed.
I don't know.
Even if it appeared that way, I think regardless, he was
He's
still.
dead.
Well, right. He'd still be
Shot.
dead. But I'm just, like, intrigued to see, like, physically. If
I know it is
looks
interesting
like-
that they have not shown him.
Yeah, I still think
moment.
something's gonna happen because.
Do you think maybe our dear actor friend Lowell maybe had some scheduling conflicts and couldn't be there for? It's quite possible.
It is quite feasible.
It's
body
quite
double.
possible. Maybe we'll see his body next week.
He's dead.
Because we're still dealing with that body. She just signed off to let him, be seen as a suicide, which is sad. But I why wouldn't she do that? Anyways,
That one makes more sense to me.
yeah, it makes complete sense.
yeah.
Then she would get caught up in the whole big mess
Right.
as well. So.
All right, you guys, we're running out of time. You guys want to go into some predictions?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's
I'm
do
not
it.
going first this time. I gotta process mine.
Your AfterBuzz TV.
More desires than predictions. Who's gonna start it? You want to start?
Desires. Sure, I can start.
Go for it.
I know
girl.
mine are like always more desires,
I know,
anyways.
they're more
It's like,
fun.
I know it's so hard for me to
so
like
give it to us.
actually say. Okay, so so Sebastian, we saw him come back zombie. I feel like he definitely has some bad in him. I feel like he'll link up somehow with Blaine. He'll be on Team Blaine for whatever comes up with that. And Scotty is going to spill the beans. He's going to tell Major everything that's going on zombie-wise. And I feel like Major is going to be upset with it when he comes out of it. He's going to not understand why his people didn't tell him. That's what I
You
think.
should be angry.
Right? I would be.
I guess I'm really hoping for a Vaughn and Blaine meeting of the minds, because that could be some fun verbal, almost verbal sparring in a way, kind of machismo, kind of what the secretary said earlier about American Psycho's office, because Steven Weber, aka Vaughn, gives off that kind of American Psycho vibe, just confident, crazy person.
Yeah.
But I really want to see Blaine and Vaughn just have a discussion, because again, there wasn't enough Blaine in this episode. Like, he's my favorite character, and I really want to see just more talking, more scenes with Blaine. He's great.
Can I tell you how much that just like lit me up that you said that?
He's great. He's such a good villain. He's likable, and
So
I'm rooting for him over Liv.
Damn.
You know what? Honestly,
You always been team Blaine. You always have.
We can finally see eye to eye.
yes,
Come on.
yes. Aja.
So for me, kind of going off of what you said, Jared, I would say that Sebastian and Blaine definitely have some type of connection. I think that's how the whole Utopia Max Ranger thing kind of got hooked up, being that Max is working for Max Ranger, and then the whole Utopia thing with Blaine. I think they kind of mastermind that together. And then Mr. Vaughn probably somehow got wound up in that, wound up in it. So he knows, of course, what's going on. And then we're gonna also see Chief. Chief is going to play another major role. So we're going to see all the meetings of the major minds, from Vaughn, the CEO, to Sebastian, to Blaine, and to the Chief. And so it's going to be a power struggle at some point, because they're all working together.
Yeah, I absolutely dig that. I actually think that Sebastian's part is going to be more pivotal in the next season. I think we'll obviously get some more. I mean, we have 3 episodes left, so I think we will get some more introduction of his character and him being a zombie. But I think the next couple episodes are going to be focused on Liv still wanting to kill Blaine and that kind of struggle. And I know the last episode, I think it's the last episode of the season, is called Blaine's World. So I think we're going to get like a whole Blaine episode, which I'm really, really, really stoked about. So I think that will set up for Blaine to start moving into more so Liv, and not, I'm not going into the love connection yet, but them starting to move more so onto the same team. I think Sebastian is going to be more so opposing Blaine and pushing them kind of together in some capacity and have to work together. Sebastian just seems like somebody who wouldn't work with anybody else. Like, I think he will start his own thing.
Have to team up. Blaine and Liv.
That's
And
cool.
I think he may raise some hell with Vaughn.
Yeah.
Sebastian show up and lay down the law. Yeah.
Because he knows too much.
Yeah. And those are my thoughts, and we are definitely out of time. We've gotten it close tonight. Everybody, real quick though, where can everybody find you?
At Aja Seldon.
At Gilkerson Radio.
On Twitter and Instagram at Blake V Media, and on YouTube at Winos and Onesies.
I want to watch that. And y'all, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at The Hotshot Dude. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Later.
Peace.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Bye. See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.